It's continually unfolding from glory to glory, revelation to revelation. And each revelation reveals a new avenue of the infinite way. The infinite way is the unfolding of the divine mystery of divine love as it extends in myriads of universes and worlds within worlds. It is so glorious and so beautiful that even the slightest entrance into those divine, immortalized, eternal worlds, which we really can't even talk about, but when you've been there, you can never again really take tremendously seriously anything here. How do you go there? You simply get still and you move your inner awareness through a form of inner imagery and mock-up initially, because you have to give your mind something to ride on. I often tell people to chant the hue. The hue is a universal divine sound which connects you to the very heart of the heart of the heart of all that is. And yet it isn't conditioned by doctrinal interpretation and overlay. It's a pure sound. It bypasses the lower mind. It enables you to soar in your inner awareness and move that awareness. You don't actually leave, but you move your awareness to where you connect with the meta-programs of God. What are the meta-programs of God? They are the extenuation in quantum increments of greater illumination, greater awareness, greater love, greater light, greater cognition, as it were, of who you are and what you are eternally. If it's truth, beloved, it will never change. That's how you can tell if you are in a position of truth. If what you are following has a termination point or an ending, it's not big enough for you, beloved. It's not the truth that you want. Truth to be truth is the same forever. It's eternal. It's a principle. It's who you are when everything else is stripped away. You are Satyam. You are Sat. You are Tat. All of those words mean that which is eternal, that which has never, ever been corrupted, nor could it ever be corrupted. Who you are is so safe, so pure, so eternal, so magnificent.
And the thing is, for so many, and that is so true, there are so many people now who have gotten confused because all the energies are coming in, spiritually speaking, cosmically speaking, and it's forcing people. I've noticed in the last number of days, people just in chatting, who are totally being affected by these energies. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're kind of like in a pattern of disarray where, and I try to help and assist these people, but it's real hard to because they're not in a place of accepting that yet. Are a lot of people of 7 billion inhabitants on this planet going through this right now, and if so, is it going to be a lot more of that energy, expansive energy, coming into the planet that will quantum affect their mindset of belief systems? Certainly, it seems like people's belief systems, what they've been taught by man, is going to be totally turned upside down, and it seems like that's starting to happen now. Would that be your understanding in terms of what you see from your end of things?
No, I don't see those things at all. I see the Son of God, birthless, deathless, immortal, pure, never corrupted, never changed, and never really here in any eternal form at all. We are projections of light consciousness that has become misidentified with the time-space projection that we call a physical body, an astral body, and a mental body. This is a misperception of self. It is not anything that needs to be addressed as real. You don't actually need to do anything but remind yourself of who and what you are forever, and to remind yourself of your eternal safety.
But what happens?
The Miracle says it in a nutshell. Nothing real is threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So what to do with the confusion? The confusion arises because people are trying to follow someone else's truth instead of going in and following the measure of light, the measure of understanding, the measure of faith, and the measure of truth that they have. everyone has some measure of truth that they know that they know that they know. Even if it's nothing more than they know, well, I am because I'm breathing and my heart is beating. That's enough. That's enough truth. If that's what you have realized, that is a mighty realization. Then if you can take it beyond that and ask yourself, well, who is beating my heart and who is breathing? You've begun to meditate. You've begun self-discovery. You've begun the fundamental thing that any being needs to do to realize the self.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has some truth. Because everyone is essentially truth, awareness, and bliss, that is the Satchidananda, which is spoken of in all of the Eastern teachings. Everybody is composed of that. It's a sense of eternality. Everyone, even if they're atheists, believe really deep down inside that somehow they're going to survive death. Mm-hmm. Even if they don't believe there's an afterlife. Mm-hmm. It's built into our consciousness to know that we are eternal and immortal. Even if we've covered it over with cynicism or doubt or pain and all the things that life sometimes does to corrupt our pristine knowing. Chit is the inquisitive expansion. That's the quantum potential of expanding awareness that we all have. We're all inquisitive to know more, to be more, to know more, in the sense of expanding where we are into the next level. Mm-hmm. That's endemic in human beings. And then you have Ananda, which most of us don't have a clue what it is. But what it means is equal-mindedness towards all things. And equal-mindedness brings you into that, what's called in the Bible, that peace which passes understanding. We don't understand it because it's not of the lower worlds. It's just that substratum of equanimity that we all have. You know, a good example of that, if any of you, it's an awful example, but it's one of the best. If any of you have had a terrible, terrible loss, I remember when I lost someone very, very, very dear to me, and how for a moment I went into, well, for actually a few days, I went into such an impersonal state that I didn't actually experience the loss. You become, as it were, without thought, without feeling, just totally present. I think the pain is so exquisite and so captivating that you suspend all of those things that project otherness, and you're in a true moment, a true now. And in that now state, there is a certain deep centeredness and calmness. That would be the closest I could describe the experience of Ananda or bliss. It's when you're in the self and there is no otherness at all.
Mm. And that's a beautiful way of expressing that. The thing is, when you have so many people on this planet right now who've been, in a sense, thank God, many people are waking up and expanding in different ways. And whatever way they get there, they get there. Certainly, though, you have people that are indoctrinated, and I use that word very focused, because in the schooling systems of this planet, and every country is different, and different schools are different, and I understand that. But the premise is, when I was a kid, we were taught in limited science, limited understandings of life, and that wasn't the only one. We had a whole class of people being put into a mindset that this is the way it is, this is what happens when you get old, and this is the way the solar system is, and these are the planets you have, and this is what looks like this, and everything was like preordained and set that we were to believe a certain concept that man was teaching, be it science, be it religion, politics, whatever. And I'm not the only one who's gone through this experience. I'm thinking many of our listeners have had similar experiences, because we all live on the same planet, maybe different countries, different states or whatever. But you get where I'm going here on, is that...
Oh, yes, I do. And within that,